just for the education of the audience here, your supervisors have to be extremely cautious in terms of hiring any new positions right now, that we have a fear that either the grant funding or other methods of funding might not be available to continue in that position. And the reason it's extra important for us here is Amador County, I don't know how many of you have owned businesses, but when you pay into an uninsured or unemployment insurance pool, typically you belong into a pool, you pay unemployment insurance premium, so to speak, into the state, and when your employees are either fired or leave or whatever, they draw unemployment off of that insurance pool. Amador County is self-insured in its unemployment insurance. So every time we lay somebody off or have to reduce them through cutbacks because the funding dried up to fund them, we are self-insuring the cost of that layoff. So we've laid them off, but we're still paying them. And every time the federal government or the state government decides to extend unemployment benefits for another 22 weeks or another 16 weeks, I think we're at a total of 99 weeks now or something in unemployment, it's costing you, the Amador County taxpayer, because we are having to continue to self-insure and pay that unemployment cost on anybody that was formerly employed in Amador County. And that's a huge hit and very difficult to manage a workforce and the size of the workforce when you know you're going to be paying the bill for them anyway if you let them off. So it's huge.
One more comment on that. We have some very good employees in Amador County. A lot of them you know. A lot of them are people that have lived in this county and have a generational influence. But they're expensive employees because they're public sector. And you saw that with the PERS cost that we're having to pay in this year. So we do have to control costs by negotiations, and this year we've asked employees to give back. And they have done just that by giving back some of those benefits that they were awarded in previous years. So we do have a good pool of employees, but I can't say it's going to get any better too much faster. I don't know who in here thinks we're going to pull out of this mess next year. But I think the county's going to have to look at new ways, and we're trying to be creative, but we're kind of digging at the bottom of the well right now. So we have to try and be innovative, and that's what we're tasking our CAO and every employee with. Come up with innovation. Tell us what's a better way to do it. If we can't find the better ways, then we're not going to dig our way out of this mess that we're in with the economy.
So I was going to go past this, we're going to move on to another topic, but as long as you brought that up, we are going through this period of austerity, and you outlined many of the measures that you're taking, you know, the layoffs and the cost of salary reductions and hourly reductions and all that. But I tell you, if I pick up the paper and there's one more article about somebody who wanted more money that's employed by the company, and the back and forth about what really transpired here, we all know that I think there's at least one that's, it'll be, again, I'd like to dispatch, I talked to Chuck Mitchell earlier today, what happened there? Somebody wanted 40% more money. What did you do about it?
Well, I'll field this one because Carol Harper was gracious enough to interview me on ACN to get the whole story out of that. I received many compliments from people that said thank you for that interview. We had a situation where our public health officer had requested, come before the board and requested, along with support from a few staff members, a just shy of 40% pay increase, 37.5% pay increase. The board had a couple of votes on it. We didn't completely agree. There was a request to extend that increase and extend his contract for 3 years. That vote failed. There was a request to leave his compensation level at the current level, which I think people need to understand the numbers too. The current, or not the current, but the previous level of his contract was $72,000 a year for what by staff and his own estimation was averaging around 8 hours a week. That's pretty good for a lot of people's viewpoints, I think. It was stated that the requirement was for additional hours, that the job had increased in a variety of ways through hospital preparedness and the pandemic flu virus concerns or the pandemic flu vaccination topics that he felt necessitated additional time, upwards of 20 hours a week. That's still a half-time position. In the end, the board voted 5-0 to extend his contract for another year, same one-year contract that he has had for the last 12 years. You've heard in the paper about extended contracts. That is not true. He's had a one-year contract that has been renewed year to year for the last 12 years. He was given an 18.5% raise to an annualized rate of about $85,000 a year for that 20-hour-a-week position by his own estimation. Upon signing and accepting that contract, there's been this vitriol in the press of his dissatisfaction with that position. And frankly, I just don't understand the dissatisfaction. If you're dissatisfied with something, don't sign the contract. There's a termination clause in that contract. If you don't want the contract, then issue a termination request for it. But the position was filled. We have, for the last 12 years, ignored our own county policy and public contracting code and statute that dates back for years that in establishing fairness in contracting for you, the taxpayer, as well as the recipient of that contract, is the bid process. We want to go out for a public works bid, we got to go out there and take the lowest bid, the lowest qualified responsible bidder. I didn't see a lot of outrage when our own local contractor, Woolen & Sons, was not able to do the $1 million plus repair in our landfill because they didn't qualify with the rigid specifications within the contract. It was a local contractor that lost $1 million bid to an out-of-town contractor. And we didn't have any of this outcry then. And we have not gone out to bid on the health contract. It has not been out for a request for proposal in 12 years. We have been waiving that process. We may continue to waive it. This will be a board decision. But the contract is up June 30th. We are in the process of negotiating that contract and preparing the scope of work so that if those negotiations prove fruitless, we have the opportunity and the time to go out for a request for proposal for other proposals. That is the facts surrounding this contract negotiation.
Thanks, John.
I think John laid it out very well. I'd like to clarify one point. It's after 36 months,
We have 15.
the contract should be put out to bid unless you find reasons why it be to benefit the public not to. And that was the reason why the board had waived this contract, as far as going to bid. So after 3-year terms, generally they go out to bid. That's a normal process, and that was waived for probably an additional 9 years under that clause, or I think it's for the public benefit or whatever you can waive.
Thanks, guys. I'd like to move on if we can.
Can we finish with another response? I'd like to make another response on that.
We don't have time.
Our whole thing is not to politicize this issue. We want the best in the position. I frankly think Dr. Hartman is the best. He's got the best interest. He's a cardiologist who frankly lets his own business suffer so that he can provide a lot of good service to you when something happens in the county. Now I agree with Supervisor Plasko. We need to negotiate a contract that makes good financial sense for the county, not just good financial sense for Dr. Hartman. So my feeling is we don't look at politics on this thing. We have to look at what's best for our county residents, what's best for county government.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it's a question about budgets, right? Fiduciary responsibility.